well, somewhat of an impact here in Mississippi. If you look at the race in the 1st District, Childers is obviously hurt. He might lose anyway because he was the last election you had this geographical division. This election you don't. So he might have lost it anyway, but the Republicans are very clever, very astute in calling the shots, in controlling the agenda. Nationally, they've, where Obama's been hurt, especially, is kind of holding back, being a little bit aloof, expecting things to happen in Congress, and the vacuum was filled by his opponents. This is a vote basically to punish the incumbents. Obama's in there, so basically people forget that he inherited a very bad situation from a Republican administration. He's left holding the ball, and and people feel he pushed too hard with health reform, and he really didn't address the job situation, that he could have done more, maybe had a program that would have addressed the job situation. But basically, the Republicans are, they demonize Nancy Pelosi, which is very easy to do in Mississippi, and then connect Childers to Pelosi. And Childers said, no, I'm an independent, we got a big tent in the Democratic Party, I'm over here on the conservative side. But the thing is, if you associate the Democratic congressman with Taylor and Childers, with Pelosi and with Washington, you're going to get some votes that way, and it's probably enough to tip things a little bit. Bennie Thompson's not in any danger. Of course, he has an electorate that is basically African American and is not conservative and identifies very strongly with him. But you have a situation where, yes, the situation in Washington, the national situation, the backlash, it may swing enough votes, certainly to hurt Childers and possibly even to hurt Taylor.
Taylor's just pretty much thrown his base under the bus, and I mean, it's going to be hard for the traditional Republican group, Democratic groups, which they do exist to an extent in the 4th District. It's going to be hard to get those guys fired up about getting people to the polls. Encourage, people. There's a strong labor vote in, say, Hancock County, for instance. It's going to be hard to convince those folks to work to get people to the polls, vote for Gene Taylor when he said, I'm not really with you. And having said that, I think Pelosi's going to win. Palazzo. Palazzo. I think he's going to win. 3rd District, I think Harper will probably get about 60% of the vote. But let me say, there is not a nicer man in the state than Mr. Gill. I really like. He's a nice guy. I really like him. I really think Childers has a shot, but I'll say Nunnelee will win with 49% of the vote.
I guess, will have to be convinced that Gene Taylor is going to fall to yet another threat. I think it will be so close that we'll all want to check on it every hour or so. But, I think Taylor, by the barest of margins.
50.1%?
Or a fraction there.
Okay. And 3rd District?
3rd
Harper
District, Gregg Harper has got a hammerlock on that district. Speaking of the 2nd, I think Bennie Thompson learned his lesson back after the 2000 census not to take his district for granted anymore. Remember, that's when Clinton LaSure had a close shave with him in that district. But you talk to his base over there, mayors and local government officials, and they're all ready to go out and work in his behalf. So he's going to be fine in that, although Marcy's a pretty nice fellow himself. The 1st District is one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen, and it will never be this fascinating again, I don't think, in that there are 7 Tea Party types sitting there on the ballot also, that Nunnelee would be hard pressed to go out and repudiate because they hold many of the same positions he does. I have no idea who is going to win. There are enough votes just outright in the district, enough Democratic voters are willing to vote Democratic that could certainly make a winner out of Childers. By the same token, the district was held for 12 years by a Republican prior to Childers, so obviously Republicans vote well in that district too, so I think it's going to be a dead tie.